Oh man, getting after it on a Monday. What up? What's up? How's everybody doing? How y'all feeling, man? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling today? Did you guys have a good weekend? What's going on? Let's talk. Let's catch up a little bit before we get serious. You know, can we just chat a little? See what's up? I'm ready to hear the news, says Louis the Jedi. Oh man, come on. Let's ease into it. You know, let's ease into it. We don't have to get all crazy about the news right away. Can't we just chill? Hey, David, what's up, brother? Hope you're doing well, man. What'd you guys do this weekend? Hey, how about those Steelers? They almost gave it away, though. Whew. Whew. They almost gave it away. Space King news? I mean, I thought that was a great episode. I was honestly ready to talk shit on that episode, but it was great. It was great. Kind of crazy. Yeah. Rossi, thank you for the rose. Went to ride some roller coasters and then went out to eat. Oh man, that sounds fun. That sounds really fun. What? How crazy were the roller coasters and how good was the food? How good was it? I rewatched the sequel trilogy after your crash out. Oh man. Oh man, fuck. Ross, what up? How about the Steelers with the luck of the Irish? Yeah, they almost gave it away, huh? They almost gave it away. Kind of sucks. Like I was feeling so good at the first quarter of that game, maybe almost all the way to the first half. I was like, yo, feeling good. And then they almost gave it away, huh? Rogers ripped that smelling salt before he threw that. Yeah, that's kind of funny, huh? Apparently he'd been doing that most of his career. I whatever. Maybe I should do some smelling salts. Maybe every time chat really fucking triggers me, you know what I mean? Or Kathleen Kennedy really triggers me, or Kevin Feige really triggers me, or James Gunn really triggers me. Hang on a second. There was like this thing, this like big reveal, this big concept. I almost had this big awakening, this big realization about myself, but then it drifted away. Fuck. Okay, anyway. Maybe the next time that happens, we'll do the smelling salts. Crack into the smelling salts, and I'll just be like, God damn it, chat! God damn it, chat! Maybe that's what we should do, huh? You should do Nerdvengers smelling salts. Oh shit, we should probably. Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. Your patience is supposed to increase as you get older. Well, Trev, how about this? Just and be honest, Trev. Be freaking honest. Hasn't it gotten better over the years? Don't I get aren't I? I'll take even just a slight improvement. I think it's gotten a little better. I think I don't think you guys are giving me enough credit. I think I have actually gotten more calm. I think I have. Yeah. Remember the bath salt zombies? Dude, I remember there was a short time period where there was a drug that's popular in Russia called crocodile. And people would do it and their skin would turn like into a crocodile. And I was like, dude, Batman, it's real. Josh, depends on the week and it depends on what James Gunn did. Oh, don't worry, we got a James Gunn segment on the schedule today. You know what today's gonna be, guys? Today, you know what I was thinking about before we went live? Today it's gonna be like we're playing the hits, man. You know, like when you go to see a band, okay, a classic band, out on the road, out on tour, you want them to play the hits. You know, like don't get me wrong, maybe you're okay with that new song that they're trying to make work, right? 17 years later after their peak or whatever, but really. You're there to hear the hits, right? So guess what today is, chat? Guess what today is? We're playing the fucking hits, baby. We're playing the hits. We've got I Can't Believe Kathleen Kennedy and Rey is the future of Star Wars. We've got James Gunn kind of sucks at his job segment. We've got Demon Slayer just embarrassed Hollywood. And then we've got the same goddamn X-Men leaks that Daniel RPK's been cycling around for 3+ years. Because sometimes you just want that familiar. Sometimes you just want mom's cooking. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just... And don't worry, I'm here for you. I'm here for you, chat. We're going to play the hits today. But give me a second. Also, I want to wake up a little bit more. Yeah, keep the hits coming. Amen. Sounds fun. It's going to be fun. I promise you. Heavier, thanks, brother. Shalami, thank you for the 5. Says, it's weird that Gunn said he will use the main characters when the second adaptation is the character nobody knows about. I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to there, but I will say this. I have it in my notes. He just needs to shut the fuck up. So maybe we agree on that. And we'll get into it. We'll get into it. Morning, Josh. Hope you and the fam are doing well. Yeah, we're doing well. You know, had a pretty chill weekend. Kids are doing good. Yeah, you know, just kind of hanging out. You know, it's that season. I don't know if you guys are feeling it. It's like we're staring down the barrel of fall. Things are slowing down. It just feels like things are cooling off, slowing down. You know, I'm starting to kind of think and reflect on the year, think about the holiday season, think about what we want to do, you know, for these back half of months. So it's kind of nice. Zuhar says, Josh, you fuck with Power Rangers, been rewatching. I mean, I fucked with Power Rangers heavy when I was a kid, but it was like the OG shit, man, you know? It was like the real OG shit. I have not kept up with it, but interestingly enough, I got down a rabbit hole on Power Rangers a couple of weeks ago, and apparently the Disney Power Rangers stuff is actually decent and good, and a lot of people think it might be the only franchise that Disney actually handled well after the acquisition. So yeah, I mean, I went on a little rabbit hole about how it was all different kinds and the big crossover event and things that they did. So, yeah. Dirty bulking season? Yeah, a little bit, I guess. Yeah, the fall, you know, you want some you know what I really like I've been craving, dude? Don't get me started on this food, man. I'm trying to lose weight, okay? I'm trying to lose weight. It's been an up and down year for me. I started to get fat again, and now I'm trying to lose weight. And now you guys are making me hungry again. But you know what I really want, man? I went into the store looking for this the other day, and apparently it's pretty seasonal, okay? But you know what I want is a nut roll. Y'all ever have nut roll? You know what that is? A nut roll? Get on Ozempic. Dude, Ozempic seems like terrible to me. Doesn't Ozempic just make you like not have an appetite? That feels like such a dystopian 1984 fucking fucked up way to die. I'd literally rather be hungry, be wishing I had incredible food, be thinking about how good it tastes, and be like living in, oh shit, I haven't evolved past just wanting to fill my fat fucking face with food because millions of years ago we never knew when food was coming or whatever it is. I'd rather have that and be hungry than like takes an injection that, like, I don't know. That just seems, it seems like that Christian Bale movie, man. What was that Christian Bale movie where you're not supposed to feel things or whatever? Fuck all that. Zahar says, yeah, I'm rewatching Mighty Morphin Dragon Zord. Dude, yeah, the Mighty Morphin. Wasn't that the OG ones? Isn't that the OG? Anyway, y'all know about nut rolls? Please explain a nut roll. Oh, man, let me see if I can find like a delicious nut roll. You've probably had some. You've actually probably had this. Oh my god. No, I shouldn't have looked at it. It looks so fucking good, dude. Oh my god. Shit. Alright, let me show you. Y'all ever had this? This kind of stuff? It's a Slavic dish. Soft yeast dough with a filling of ground walnuts. Brushed with egg, wash, shiny finish, and baked until golden. Once cooled, it can be sliced and enjoyed with tea or coffee. Y'all never had a nut roll, bro? Oh my fucking god! Oh my god, I need it! What can I say? I just need that nut, you know? Just need to get my nut off. Tis the season to roll up some nut. Anyway. Does look straight. It is good. Trust me. Trust. I don't think I've had it, but I've seen it in some bakeries. Give it a shot. It looks like a poor man's stromboli. Brother, I don't know. I don't know why it's really geeking me out, but stromboli is a poor man's dish, brother. You know what I mean? Oh my god. What's your nationality? We're going to start getting wild around here. I'm going to start throwing around some crazy language. What's your nationality? Are you Scottish or something? Looks like chocolate or vanilla Swiss roll. Yeah. It's yeah, I'd say so, sure. Yeah, stromboli. It's like saying, that's like a poor man's ravioli. It's like, what the fuck do you think a ravioli is, bro? What do you think's going on here? Anyway. Make one on stream? You want me to make a nut roll on stream? Maybe for the OnlyFans. Fortnite has major beef with James Gunn because of a dance. Ah, shit, really? That's too bad. Greg, what up, brother? Hope you're well. Hey, I hope all y'all are doing well, man. This stream is nuts. Hey, I see what you did there, Tim. I see what you did there. No, we can move past the nut roll thing, but in all seriousness, I really want a nut roll, man. I went into the bakery the other day. There's like a local bakery, and they were like, no, we don't really do that until Thanksgiving time. And I was like, fuck. But yeah, they're really good. Maybe we will make a homemade one. Maybe I'll do that on stream or something. I don't know. You haven't seen the Fortnite drama with Peacemaker? Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. So basically, the Peacemaker, as far as I understand it, because I didn't watch Peacemaker, the second season of Peacemaker exists in Earth X, and there's like swastika type iconography all over it or whatever. And apparently the intro scene or whatever has seen it, like the version of the dance this year or whatever is meant to evoke that iconography or whatever, right? So apparently Fortnite took it down and whatnot. I mean, so here's the thing, right? Like, I think it's so, I first of all, just, it's so sad that I even have to, like, talk about this. It's like, sucks. But, I mean, look, here's what it is, right? Like, is that silly? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. It's silly. But at the same time, like, you know what the internet's like, and you know what trolls are like on the internet. So it's like, it's not that James Gunn, it's the fact that Fortnite cannot have a bunch of fucking 4chan people with the ability to spam swastika dances and put it all over the internet. Fortnite has to make that call, right? And I don't know. I mean, Gunn, look, he's got to, at the end of the day, whatever. He's doing some flagrant, crazy James Gunn stuff. That's fine. But Fortnite knows its audience. Fortnite knows what it has to do. It's like, I don't know what you want me to add to this, you know? Yes, I know that is happening. Yes, it is funny and stupid and whatever. Is the dance even bad? I don't really think it's that bad, but again, it's like Fortnite's just like, hey, look, we know what this is, so we can't have a bunch of fucking 4chan memester, gamer, incel, dude bros, which really, it's just a lot of like 12-year-olds that are looking for, to make people uncomfortable or whatever. But yeah, Fortnite doesn't want that, so they removed it from the game. I gotta tell you, I don't think it's really that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's whatever. Yeah. Yeah, and then so the next thing becomes, oh, but Fortnite let this dance in and not this dance. And again, like, guys, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know if this is like the simulation trying to just make me want to fucking punch myself in the nuts or whatever, but like, this is the silliest conversation ever. Like, this isn't the fucking Jedi Council. It's Fortnite dances. Who gives a shit? Like, truly, who gives a shit? Unless I have woken up in some kind of other dimension where now the Fortnite dance thing is actually really a big deal. And this is social currency that, like, I need to know about. Because I'm not actually against the idea that I've arrived in a Earth, what did he call it? Earth X? Maybe I've arrived in a Earth X myself, where, like, this is actual discourse and the presidency is going to be decided by, like, Fortnite dances and shit. Please let me know. Have I come it? Because I already thought the universe I lived in was pretty fucking stupid. But if I've somehow woken up into a more stupid one, straddle up, boys. You know what I mean? Fuck. I just want my money back if they're not giving us it back. Hey, whoa, out of the nowhere, a fucking reasonable take occurs. Yeah, I agree that you should be able to get your money back. 100%. Yeah. I mean, that's going to happen in 10 years when they can vote. Yeah, that's fair, actually. Yeah, that's fair. They should worry about. What the fuck, dude? What you guys bring such a weird. Like, I get it. Okay, we're all on the screens. We're all on the screens watching the feed. I get it. Okay, and you've seen some crazy shit on the feed, and you want to talk to me about it. You want to tell me about it. It's cool. I get it. I honestly don't care that much, guys. You know, I just don't care that much. You know, everybody's got some wild shit. What did you see on the feed today? Oh shit, I can't believe I saw this on the feed. I don't know. Does it seem like maybe you're always seeing wild shit on the feed? Does it seem like there's always some wild shit to get upset about? I don't know, but can we please just talk about motherfucking Warhammer? You know what? We should. In a perfect world, we should just talk about Warhammer, but we don't live in that perfect world. We live in this bullshit world where we got to talk about Rey Skywalker. We got to talk about how James Gunn sucks balls. We got to talk about Demon Slayer embarrassing Hollywood. And then we got to talk about Daniel RPK's 4-year-old X-Men rumors that he keeps yapping about. So no, we can't just talk about Warhammer because we can't have nice fucking things. But here's the thing. Actually, now that I think about it, hold up. Now that I think about it, we can just talk about Warhammer. Pause the fucking music for a second. We can just talk about Warhammer. On Warhammer Explained, the greatest and bestest Warhammer channel that you've ever seen on the goddamn internet. And that's right, it comes back tomorrow. New video on Warhammer Explained. Seriously, I'm gonna drop the new video tomorrow. I got an Emperor video in the tank. 100% done. 30 something minutes. Okay? And I got a Dark Angels video. Oh my fucking God. I'll tell you that I think it's the best Dark Angels video on the internet. I think it's the best Dark Angels video on the internet. And I'm not even going to lie to you guys. It's fucking propaganda. The Dark Angels are the best, and I'm sick of acting like they're not. They're the best fucking Legion. They're the first Legion. Everybody else is good because they were great. Holy shit. Shut the fuck up and watch the Dark Angels video. You need a goddamn education, and I'm here to give it to you. So shut your mouth when I'm talking to you. It's time. So we got a Emperor video dropping tomorrow. And you know what? I might even drop the Dark Angels video by the end of the fucking week. I'm getting crazy around here. But if I do that, I don't know when the next video is going to drop. Because we only got 2 ready to go. But we'll figure that out. Star Wars Sid says Dark Angels suck. This motherfucker, get him out of my face. Ban him. Zach says, happy Monday, Nerd Vendors. I agree with everything you just said, Josh. I'll watch after work. Much love. Hey, appreciate it. I don't remember anything I just said, though. I rewatched Gunn's Superman and liking it less and less now. Lex and Peacemaker, I'm not feeling it. Thanks for the community. You to go. Take my money. Roy, I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, well, you know what? I got a lot to say about this motherfucker James Gunn and this motherfucking DCU. But let me ask you guys before I get into it. Like, am I crazy, or is this a shared opinion out there? Like, does it not seem a little weird? I don't know, man. My take on it is having all these characters pop up in Peacemaker makes the whole DCU feel really small. It makes it all feel like it's James Gunn's band of misfit toys. And it actually doesn't, like, it's doing the opposite for me as what maybe you would expect, right? Where like, oh shit, Peacemaker's a big deal. It got Lex Luthor. No, it's actually having the opposite effect with me. It's actually making me feel like that Lex Luthor is lesser than. This whole fucking universe is lesser than, because it's kind of like just James Gunn DC fan fiction. That's how I'm starting to feel about it. But you know what? I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys feel the same way, or am I crazy? Like, is there a bunch of people out there like loving this shit and they're like, oh my God, Lex Luthor's in this thing? Because I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it out there. I don't see the hype. I don't see the love. The thing hasn't charted on Nielsen at all yet. I don't think it's a good look, man. I don't think this is a good look. Saturday morning nut roll stream win. Oh my God, that sounds so fucking pleasant, dude. You know what we do it with? We do it with like some fucking warm apple cider, man. Y'all ever have hot apple cider? Kind of served almost like hot tea. Oh my God, a nice thick nut roll and some steamy hot apple cider. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. Yep. James Gunn definitely has an agenda. Are there many people watching this show? I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell. It's not charting so far. We'll get into it in a little bit later. Wild take for not even watching it for context. But how's that a wild? I feel like that's a pretty mild take. I don't know if that's really that crazy. I have actually way more crazy shit in my notes for later. Hater? You think I'm just a hater? Josh, you see Bryce Dallas Howard finish her Ahsoka episodes? Oh, hell yeah. Bryce can do no wrong, baby. Thunderbolts and Alien Earth charting on Nielsen, though. Yeah, but I'm going to be honest with you. The Thunderbolts numbers are not great. We're going to get into that a little bit later, too. We can talk about whatever you want to. It's your world, bud. Hey, C. Fisher, that's really nice. I wish all of chat was more like you, but I don't think they are. I can't get down with it. The edgy humor reminds me of his weird-ass tweets. I can't even enjoy it if I wanted to. I wonder how many people are actually feeling that way, man, you know? Like, the trouble with... Oh, man, oh, man. Oh, man, oh, man. I got a lot to say about this James Gunn guy. I got a lot to say. I just generally would like to know if I am alone in this thinking. Perhaps I'm in a small group with this thinking. Like, if there's a big group of DC fans that is absolutely loving all of this shit, like, you know, Bob's your uncle, like, good for you. That's awesome. But I don't know. I'm getting the feeling that that's not the vibe. And it doesn't look great. You know, from where I'm standing, it doesn't look great. So people will crap on Taika, yet stan Gunn. Is that a thing? That doesn't seem... Yeah, I don't know about that, bud. Sasha, Trey, are you one of the Sasha boys? Anyway, Spider-Man 2.1 was peak. What does that even mean, Spider-Man 2.1? Come on, man. What are we doing here? I watched Luton 09 Sanguinius vid. It was over 2 hours. Absolute cinema. Yeah, and you know what? Someday I might do videos that long someday. You know, I'm kind of easing into it, I think. But yeah, I love Luton stuff, obviously. Luton is a huge inspiration. Oh, God. Luton is a huge inspiration for me wanting to even make Warhammer content, you know? Luton helped me really get into Warhammer. And I think he's like the go to that shit for sure. A new cut of Raimi's Spider-Man? What did they change? An extended cut. Oh, shit. What did they change? The 34-minute Doomsday video was great. Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, I would like to do just longer, more well-thought-out videos on the main Den of Nerds channel. I figure the streams and the clips channel is a good place for, like, the fast news stuff. You know, hot take about this is happening. News. Really fast turnaround. But for the main Den of Nerds channel, I would prefer to do 20-plus minute vids I'd prefer to really get into like really get nerdy and in depth on some shit. And yeah, so I think we're gonna try that. I think we're gonna try. We'll see. Carl got me into Warhammer. Thank you. Hey, Carl, my man. Raimi cut of Spider-Man 2 with extra scenes out of the theater was only available on DVD before. Oh, wow. I actually did not know that was what it was. Interesting. It's funny how some things kind of slip past you, you know? Figured that'd be something I'd hear about. Yeah, that's great. Did y'all see that? Did y'all go check that out? Have a good time? Great idea, especially after your Prime stream chat. Yes, I think it might be, Adam. I think it might be. Also, Adam, when are we playing Warhammer this week, bud? Oh, yeah, that vid talking about the leaks was awesome. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you guys liked it. Hell yeah. No, I mean, I cooked on that vid, man, you know? I felt like it was a good recording. The trouble with vids like that is they just take days, you know? They just take days. Like, I recorded it. I did a flow edit. I passed it to Randon, who did a great edit. And then I did another edit over top of that and added music. So it just takes days, man. You know, when you got like a 34-minute video. And then I think the thing is, when you spend that much time on a thing, like, you want it to be really good, to give it the best chance to get views and for people to like it over and over, you know. So, self-glaze? I mean, I guess. I don't know. I think I do certain things well. It just takes time, you know. That at the end of the day, you know what's crazy about as you get older? This is actually one of the scary things about getting older. And you know what? Honestly, the more I think about this, it's like a blessing to even have this problem. But as you get older, if you get really good at something, you know what I mean? Like, you get really good at it, you will understand how few things you'll ever be able to get really good at. Like, if you, and I mean, like, when you get really good at something, right? Like, you get really good at it, and then you realize, you think like, oh shit, yeah, no, I mean, I guess I just did that for like years and years and years and years, thousands and thousands and thousands of reps, right? And then you're like, and then, because I had this thought, right, where I was like, oh shit, and then like you want to turn around, you want to do something else, or you want to be like really good at something. And then you just realize, you're like, bro, like, even if I started today, I don't know that I would ever get as good. So like, I think about this with content, right? And I'm not like, you know, fucking, I'm not like the best at content, but I'm pretty good, I would say. And I got good at it just through repetition and keep showing up and keep learning, keep doing stuff, etc., etc. But the other side of it is, like, I was young. I didn't have a lot of responsibilities. I kind of went all in on it. As you get older, it's like, I don't even know that I have the time to go as all in as I did when I was getting those reps in, when I was getting into content, right? And it makes you realize, and it's something that's kind of special about life. I think that's why you really should respect anybody that has put a long time into a craft. Somebody that has dedicated themselves to something for a long, long time. There's like a beauty in that, right? There's like a grace in that, because it is something that you kind of can't fake. You can't easily replicate. And you're only going to be able to do so many of those yourself as a person. You know? It's crazy. Just something to think about. That's only true if you don't have much time left in life and you get 30 plus your reps into something else and it looks hard with the kids, and then you look back and you get older and you get, yeah. No, I mean, I think there's all sorts of ways to get to all sorts of outcomes. So that's not to say that, like, if you're older in life and you have responsibilities, you can't do something great. That's not what I'm saying. But I do think there's something to be said for how few things you could actually master, right? Like, if you really wanted to master something, like to become a master of it, that there's probably few things that people could do. You know what I mean? To that level, which is interesting. It's limiting, but it's kind of beautiful in a way. What's on the agenda for today? Well, Seagal Stephen F. We're going to complain about Rey. We're going to complain about James Gunn. We're going to talk about Demon Slayer. And then we're going to complain about Daniel RPK and X-Men. So there you go. Josh, Shawn Levy said, KK, come to him, and if he had an idea and he pitched it, so did he want Rey included, or was that Kathleen? I mean, that's the whole problem. What do you think? What do you think? Nerd Theory today? Hell yeah, we're doing Nerd Theory today. So I was texting Theory yesterday. I texted him a little bit over the weekend, but I was texting him yesterday, and I said, you know what I think we should do today? I said, I think we should lean in to the toxicity, and I think we should give our most problematic Star Wars takes. Okay? Now, what it's going to be tonight is probably like all roads lead to Rey, and we're going to complain about Rey and stuff like that. But I made a list, okay? And I tried to figure out what was the most and least problematic of my problematic Star Wars takes. And so, I don't know, I might throw... I was thinking it would be fun to throw a couple of those at you guys tonight. But either way, we're going to complain about Rey tonight, for sure. Corso Tavern says, I know Disney would never do this, but if they turned Rey into Abeloth, would you be cool with it? I think something with Abeloth and Rey would be very interesting. I think it would be way better than whatever they're probably cooking. So, yeah, I actually do think that would be good, yeah. Yeah. Yo, bait me into super chatting with your takes. God, I hope so. Check it twice. Well, so I'll just give you like one example, just one example. This is, I think, one of the mild ones. I don't think droids should have any rights. I'm just going to put that. I don't think that in the Star Wars universe, I don't think droids should have any rights whatsoever. When you watch the first Force Awakens, or the very first Star Wars movie, A New Hope, which was just called Star Wars back in the day, right? They walk in there and the guy's like, we don't serve their kind here. Love it. What? Why did that go away? Fuck these clankers, man. Fuck these clankers. I think Star Wars needs to embrace the anti-clanker, anti-robot. They cannot have rights. They're not like you and me, which means they can't be trusted. Elijah, thanks for the 20 spot, brother. That's very generous, man. It says, been busy a lot lately. Just wanted to send some love to our awesome community. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I hope you're doing well out there. Life can come at you fast, man. Life can come at you fast, yeah. So that's just like an example, guys, of one of my problematic Star Wars takes. And don't worry, I've got like a whole bunch more. So I kind of think that would be fun. I don't know. What do you guys think? That'd be kind of fun. Maybe I can throw a bunch at Theory tonight. What do you think? Be kind of fun, right? Be kind of fun. Yeah. Yeah. Josh hasn't watched Skeleton Crew still? I watched a little bit of it. Yeah, I watched a little bit of it. Next, you'll say death sticks are fine. You're saying I shouldn't say that? Should I take that off the list? Should I take that off the list? Y'all gonna get canceled by the end of Nerd Day. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm saying, like, how close can we get to cancel? And the funny thing is, too, like, I could say with him there, okay, and this is what it is, chat. With Theory there, I can say whatever I want. I could say terrible things. And everyone will just focus on what he said. So it allows me to get, like, really problematic, bro. Like, I can fucking bring it. And they'll come for him. Hell yeah. All right, anyway. Should we get into this, guys? Is it time? Is it time to bitch and moan about goddamn Rey? Okay, so the future of Star Wars is Rey, and I think that's a bad move. I'm speaking, of course, of a scoop that came out over the weekend, and we did an emergency stream yesterday. We were supposed to do a stream where I was going to try all this breakfast food, and we were going to have mimosas, and it was all going to be happy-go-lucky, you know, slapping each other on the ass, having a good time, and all that. But we didn't do that, you know. And the reason why is because the Shawn Levy Star Wars movie, Starfighter, starring Ryan Gosling, is all about Rey. The plot of the movie involves Amy Adams' character, who's a Jedi who survived Luke Skywalker's temple. That'd be the one that Ben Skywalker, all that shit that happened, you know, when he lost all of his students. So, Amy Adams' character is a Jedi that survives Luke's temple. And her son is a Force-sensitive kid. And she hires Ryan Gosling, who is not Force-sensitive whatsoever. He's just like a smuggler type dude. And she hires Goss to take the kid to Rey. Okay, so that's what it is. Now, look, you know, your mileage may vary on how you feel about that. In chat, let me know how you feel about that. But, like, I think it's fucking awful. And the thing that sucks about it is that, you know, a couple of years ago when the Charmino bitch, you know, thing was going on, and, you know, you had Rey and Daisy Ridley herself coming out on stage at Celebration or whatever. When Levy's movie gets announced and then they go pretty crazy with Ryan Gosling, right? It's kind of wild. It almost feels like sleight of hand in a sense, because at Celebration it's all about Goss, no Daisy Ridley. And you know, the first photos revealed are the kid and Goss, and it's all, you know, we're selling this off of Goss. But I had told you almost immediately when the rumors and stuff were coming out about this film that this movie was really going to connect to Rey, and that it was going to have Rey in it. It takes place like 5 to 7 years after Rise of Skywalker, and essentially Rey would be involved. And the thing is, as the movie was promoting itself, because remember, the thing first, it happens, the rumors are coming out, and we're all like, oh my God, it's another one of these Rey things. But then I was kind of shocked and pleasantly surprised that the promotion for the film was all about Ryan Gosling and this kid. And I was like, oh my God, bro, like, hey, this is cool. Like, injected some male energy here, you know, you got this A-list, you know, actor in Goss. You got this young kid who's going to be a Force-sensitive character. Like, this kind of feels cool. Like, we're cooking, and no Rey to be seen. You know, like, no Rey to be seen. Oh my God, is this actually going to be something fun, something for the fans? And maybe Shawn Levy's movie doesn't involve Rey. Maybe Star Wars wants to set up this time period, and then they'll do the Charmino Bid-Chinoy movie, or they're going to do the Simon Kinberg stuff. And yeah, like, it's probably going to get to Rey, obviously, but maybe we don't need it here. Maybe it doesn't have to be all over this movie with Goss. Well, dude, I mean, the movie is essentially all about getting a Force-sensitive kid to Rey, which is really to establish that Rey is the new Luke Skywalker, the new Jedi Master of this post-sequel era of Star Wars. Like, that is essentially what it is. Okay, so that's what the fucking movie is, dude. And look, is it possible? Because here's the thing, and the guy asked me in chat, you know, earlier on stream today, you know, is it possible that this could work, right? Like, is it possible that this could still be good? And honestly, even my source I talked to about this said, like, I don't know, maybe there's an outside chance they changed it because this is old information, right? And this guy was asking, like, so what's the deal? Did Shawn have a movie in mind? Did he have this big crazy idea? Did he have this thing he wanted to do? And it had to do with Rey. And I mean, you guys tell me, but I'm gonna tell you right now, like, the likelihood of that happening is next to zero. Like, it's next to zero that you love Star Wars. And I'm not trying to be a dick here, but this is like the whole fucking point. Like, if you can't understand what I'm saying right now in this moment, we're gonna have a really hard time discussing this whole thing, Because the whole idea here is that Rey is the character of the sequel trilogy, which is like the worst trilogy. And the sequel trilogy, it's just not, I mean, it's not good, guys. Like, I know it's been a while, right? But, like, it's goobly glop. The whole thing's fucking goobly glop. Whether you think it was Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker, it doesn't matter because they basically pissed every single person off. The whole thing just showed itself to be a complete fucking catastrophe. The planning is all over the place. Nobody knew what the fuck was going on. The movies are retconning each other. It's silly. So, like, she is that character. She is the front and center character of the worst trilogy of Star Wars, the Disney Star Wars thing, the mishandling of Star Wars, right? So, like, you cannot tell me that Shawn Levy is a lifetime Star Wars fan, meaning he got into Star Wars when it was good. And years later, as an adult, his dream, his vision, the pitch for him to take to Kathy is this Rey movie. There's just 0% chance that that's what it is. There's no way. And if it is that way, Shawn needs to come out and say that. Shawn needs to be like, no, I actually am one of those guys that loved Rey. And here's why I love Rey. And here's why we want to make Rey and all that, right? But I don't think that's going to happen. And in fact, I think they're going to play hide the Rey and they're going to act like they don't know what it is. And they're going to like Trojan horse a Rey thing into a Shawn Levy Star Wars movie. Is that not what it is? I feel like that's what it is. If it's not that, then just tell us the whole movie's about Rey. Why not just tell us the whole movie's about Rey? Why not just admit that the whole pitch revolves around taking this character to Rey, and that's really meaningful and important to you as a storyteller, and here's why. I doubt that's going to happen. Okay? So I have a problem with it. Now, here's the thing. Does Shawn maybe have this really cool idea for a Star Wars movie? Probably. Does Shawn have a really cool idea for a Star Wars movie that involves taking a young Force-sensitive kid to some Jedi Master? Yeah, he probably does. And in fact, it was probably Luke Skywalker. Like, let's just be fucking real. If he's any kind of Star Wars fan, like a real Star Wars fan, then he probably had a version of a movie inside his head for years and years and years that involved a young shonen-like adventure where a smuggler-type character takes some kid to older Luke Skywalker because he probably read The Legacy of the Force and all the Zahn books and all that kind of shit, if he's a real fan, right? So he probably had the idea for this. And then it gets just transported into Reyland sequel trilogy Star Wars thing. And that sucks balls, dude. I'm really fucking upset about that, okay? I'm really fucking upset about that. So, yeah. So it's just really hard for me to look past that. It's hard for me to not see this for a corporate strategy rather than a story that is like beating inside somebody's heart that needs to be told, right? And it's a repeating of a lot of the same mistakes that I think Lucasfilm under Kathleen Kennedy has been doing, which is mostly that they treat it as product. There's no integrity of the story. There's no vision for what they're trying to do. It's all just product. I think that is proven just kind of over and over again in how they handle it. And I think that Lucasfilm ultimately has earned this rep. So even if you don't hate the Rey character, I think it's still worth being like, wait a minute. So they took how many years away and they've had all of this time, and yet they're still just focused on trying to protect the assets that they created during that time period that was so bad that they needed to take a long break from the theaters. Like, doesn't that seem idiotic? Like, isn't it kind of like stupid to do so poorly that you go to Bob Iger to ask for a break? And Bob Iger was like, wait a minute, what? These movies made $5 billion in 3 trilogy movies and Solo and shit and Rogue One. What are we doing here? Like, what do you mean you need a big break? Oh, actually, no, I can tell we're fucking this up, Bob. I'm going to need a break to figure out what I'm going to do. Okay, here's 6 years. What's your plan? I'm going to get the Deadpool Wolverine Marvel guy to make a movie with Ryan Gosling that takes a young kid to old Rey Skywalker. That's what you came up with in 6 years? That's a terrible fucking plan, dude. Like, that's a terrible fucking plan. Not to mention, it just has zero synergy with everything else that's going on. If that were the case, where's all the content with Rey and the sequel trilogy? Like, let me, like, it doesn't make any sense, guys. Where's the sequel trilogy content? After Rise of Skywalker, where's the sequel trilogy content? It doesn't exist. So it doesn't exist. And yet now, 6 years later, we're going to return to theaters with a movie that is like an in-between chapter of trilogies that's meant to reestablish Rey as like the leader of the new Jedi. It's just so crazy, dude. Like, this is wild. This is truly, to me, very, very wild. Now, the other thing that I want to say about this is, because I know that there's going to be a lot of people. So we're going to talk about this with Theory tonight, and I'm going to get super fucking toxic. Like, I'm sorry, I am. I think this is bullshit. And I'm so far past trying to be careful about talking about this on the internet, right? It's going to be super toxic. And the thing is, a lot of fans are going to be upset that it's going to get toxic, and it's going to get toxic fast, and it's going to be toxic the entire fucking time as we lead to it. That's not a great thing, right? I mean, I'm not pumped for it. I think there are some people that are pumped for it, right? There are some people that are licking their chops and really, really excited, okay? I'm not even that pumped for it, but that's what it's going to be. And I think there are many fans that are going to watch what's about to happen, that are going to see it go down, and they're going to blame people like me. They're going to blame me. They're going to blame other fans. They're going to call these other fans toxic. They're going to say that the Star Wars fandom is the issue. They're going to say that the fans are horrible. Oh my God, look what the fans did, this, that, second, and the third. And yet, I'm pretty sure that the fans have been fucking screaming at the top of their lungs that they don't like this Rey character, and they don't like the sequels, and they don't want more of this shit. And so it's just like it has always been. It's actually going to be on Lucasfilm. It's actually going to be on Kathy. And this is the whole thing that I tried to warn everybody about a year and a half ago when I started talking about this and the whole future of Star Wars being Rey. The number one reason that I brought this up as a negative, and the number one reason I said this is such a terrible idea, is because you are locking in for more terribly divisive and toxic discourse, guaranteed. Does anybody disagree with that? Like, isn't that obvious? Wasn't it always obvious that if you really want to make 5 more movies focusing on Rey, isn't it obvious that if you really want to make the future of the franchise focusing on the main character of the most divisive thing, the most divisive Star Wars trilogy, wasn't it always obvious that you were about to have a bad fucking time? And this is the thing that I can't stand about Kathy. This is the thing that I can't stand a lot about Hollywood. I think Hollywood does this shit a lot too. It's like they want to act on the one hand, they want to act like there's this whole world of voices and output in people that are so irritable and terrible that they feel a responsibility to push back against this whole big group of terrible people by putting all this bullshit into the content. And yet they can't actually take a step back from that and acknowledge that what they are admitting is that a whole bunch of the people that are literally the customer actually don't like all this shit. And so Hollywood plays this really weird, stupid game where they think the thing is so bad that they must rail against it, and yet they can't then turn around and understand what is happening when those very same people get upset and everything gets toxic and falls apart. It's so fucking stupid. Kathy should have known. Everybody over there should know that if you're actually going to make all of the next 5 years of Star Wars content focus on the most divisive character. You gave this bitch the Skywalker name. Do you really still think that was a good idea? Like, do people still think that was chill? Like, what are we doing here? It's crazy to me, right? I just think it's so fucking crazy. It's like a double, triple down on a losing hand. And then you're going to blame the dealer, basically. Right? And so that's what it feels like, man. And that's what it feels like Kathy is getting us ready for. And I think, like, the thing look, I don't know all the considerations. I don't know how it all works over there or whatever, but I can tell you this, like, dude, I'm not wrong. Like, I'm not wrong here. Maybe the solution or how you figure this out is more complicated than I understand. I can admit that. But, like, I'm not wrong, dude. This is what they are signing up for. I really wish somebody at Disney would, like, watch this segment or maybe hear this from somebody else and just understand that, like, it's really not even as deep as, like, oh, but we're fighting for this and it's this big, this, that, segment, there. No, you're literally just going to do some shit that a whole bunch of people don't want you to do. And they're going to bitch and moan and make the whole thing miserable for the entire fan base the whole time. And then you're going to turn around and, like, just blame them. But, like, come on, man. You got to be the adult in the room. You know what I mean? So this situation sucks ass. This situation sucks ass, dude. And I kind of can't believe that they're doing this. It's funny because, like, many people called me out after this because, yes, we have technically been talking about this for years, and it was always kind of lingering, and you know, it was always like a concern. It was always there. But really and truly, the Levy movie, I was starting to get hyped. I was like, oh shit, like maybe this could be cool, that could be cool. And I knew Rey, I mean, it's literally in the sequel era time period, so I always knew there would be some Rey shit. But, dude, in my wildest dreams, did I really think the whole fucking plot would be about getting this kid to Rey? No. And that sucks. And I hate it. And I don't know that I will be able to be anything but super toxic and annoying about this. So, fuck it. Maybe that's just what we do. Maybe we just fucking roll with the punches and we just let them have the most toxic. That's what I was telling Theory. I was like, fuck it, man. Let's lean into it. Let's make this the most toxic Nerd Theory stream that we've ever done. Because if this is what they want to do, I'm going to sit here. You know what I was thinking too? I was thinking about this. I think, and I'm going to bring this up on Nerd Theory too. I think Theory and I should watch this movie, and we should get a theater. And we should try to watch it together. We should try to watch it with some Nerd Theory fans, okay? And you guys know that famous clip where at the end of the movie, all those Reylos were like, where the fuck is Ben? And they were like freaking out. Bro, we need to watch this movie. And then if it actually happens, dude, we need to create a moment like that where we lose our fucking minds in the theater. Like, I cannot fucking believe that they did this and just lose our fucking minds. And to be honest with you, I'm probably watching this whole goddamn movie now like this. Kind of just like waiting for the bullshit, you know what I mean? Oh, so hey, look, that's what they're cooking up. That's what they're cooking up, chat. Not me. Okay? I tried to be chill about this shit. Anyway, Roy says, we all come together and boo during the entire movie. That's what I'm saying. Like, we need a big old theater full of Nerd Theory fans. And we need to just, like, dude, I want to just roast this thing. I want to heckle this thing. You know what I mean? I might get an AMC Plus Pass bullshit thing, so I could go in there and just heckle this movie in multiple screenings. Like, what's the legality on that? Warhammer Heresy, thanks for the gifted membership, brother. Appreciate you. The Bates Funny Farm says episode 7, 8, and 9 aren't even canon for me. Disney has done some good things with Star Wars. That's what's so upsetting about the Skywalker saga. Yeah, fair, brother. Star Wars Sith says, I was hyped for Starfighter, but if it leads to Rey, man, that's disappointing. Let Levy cook alone without forcing him to add Rey. 100%, bro. 100%. 100% agree with you, dude. Fifi, no! Why? Says, can't wait for the Rey movie. Am I right? God damn it, Fifi. I mean, hey, appreciate you. Why you do this to me? Why you do this to me? Why you do this to me? Might even rip the screen. Oh, dude, what if we, like, riot? What if there's, like, a riot? Like, we get a bunch of Nerd Theory fans in a theater, okay? And we sit down and we're watching Starfighter. And, like about an hour in, we're like, I can see where this is going. I don't like it. And then we're starting to get real rowdy, you know? And by the end of the movie, we're all up out of our seats. And they pull up and the kid goes over to Rey. And we just start like, ah! You know? It's going to turn into, like, goddamn 2001, man, you know? We're going to be, ripping those seats. Fucking, we'll be on the news, man. We'll be on the news. Tragedy struck today as two YouTubers were responsible for the burning down of the classic theater located blah, 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 blah. It would appear they sat down to watch the new Star Wars movie and didn't like that the end of the movie led to Rey. And then the sports guy's like, wait a minute, what? It leads to Rey? And then he goes crazy and he starts like tearing down the stairs. This is gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild. What if we chicken jockey every time they Rey name throwing popcorn and screaming? Yeah, 100%. That's. I mean, we're gonna do something. You know what I mean? We're gonna do something. Hell yeah, we're gonna do something. All right, anything else about this Rey bullshit, guys, before we complain about James Gunn? Like I said, we're playing the hits today. You know what I mean? Like, you guys deserve a nice classic Den of Nerds live stream. We're playing all the hits today. Complaining about KK, complaining about Kathleen Kennedy. Wait, what? They're the same? Complaining about Rey. We're about to complain about James Gunn. We're playing the hits, baby, you know? Yeah, man. It's like grabbing the mic and, hey, Jude, you know? Hey, James, get off Twitter. Griff says, not a fan of Rey being a Skywalker, but how would she have been able to train future Jedi bearing the name Palpatine? Yeah, that's fair. My strategy on this would be that she's, you know, she's there, she's got the text, she's got the books, and she's in her ship, and oh no, miscalculation, and she's in the middle of the sun. Like maybe a hyperspace lane thing, and she goes into the middle of the sun, and she explodes. It's kind of, I don't know. I was just, you know, just throwing around a couple ideas. We need to vote with our wallets. We need to take our wallets and throw, they don't deserve a cent of our money. F that. They've dodged us for years with this retarded stuff. They need to learn. Yeah, hell yeah, they need to learn. They need to learn today. They gonna learn today. The sacred text. Yeah. Yeah, man. All right, are you guys ready? Should we complain a little bit more about Rey, or do you want to complain about James Gunn? I could go either way. You know, what do you guys want to do here? What's the play? What's the play? Have you mentioned Fortnite banning Peacemaker emote, if that means anything? Yeah, we talked about it. It's a tragedy. I've written my congressman. I'm really upset. So, yeah. Complain about Gunn? Okay, cool. Let's do it. Here we go. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. James Gunn really sucks at his job, and we need to talk about it. Now, here's the thing. I am a bad messenger for this, but, hear me out. Okay, hear me out on this. Now, I know I'm a bad messenger on this, but here's the problem. Nobody else is actually messaging this the right way. Nobody else is talking about this the right way, and therefore, I got to come in here and I got to give this take. And here's the thing. Hear me out on this. I'm actually going to be gentle. I'm going to be respectful, and I think I'm going to make actually a really good point here. Okay, so I think the truth of the matter is that many folks actually clocked James Gunn super fucking early on some of his bullshit, okay? And I think, unfortunately, what happened was in those very early days, there wasn't enough evidence to prove that at the time Gunn was being exactly what many people thought he was being. And you had this like weird backlash to the criticism, so much so that it kind of just became a thing. And so now that Gunn is actually doing all of the things that people were trying to call him out for years ago, and it's super obvious. The problem is now it feels like we can't come out and say, I told you so, And it's difficult to like point these things out or hold these things up because of like the weird early backlash that happened. It almost feels like there are people so dug in on defending Gunn that now, years later, staring right in our faces, it's like impossible for some people to actually see exactly what is happening. Okay, so what am I talking about exactly here? Well, I'm mostly talking about him being overexposed, but also it's just the strategy of the entire company. Okay, so right now, Peacemaker's going on, you know, and I don't really talk about Peacemaker, as I've said many times. This is not really my thing. I'm not a huge fan of Gunn's sensibilities. I don't really like that really irreverent stuff or whatever. Okay. But, you know, I also think, hey, this is his shit, right? He was making this before he got the president job. I would imagine he wants to continue making it. I have no problem with the dude doing what the dude wants to do. Okay. But I think where it gets weird and where it gets tricky is that it's become a thing now where he's trying to like make fetch happen. Okay. And I know that there's been some big cameos. So for instance, there's been a big cameo of Lex Luthor, right? And there's been this big reveal that this universe here in Peacemaker is Earth X. Okay. The issue here, right? And part of this is just that because Gunn has been out there talking about this so much and promoting it so much, partially because he literally created a podcast, a official DCU created podcast, right? That comes out weekly where they discuss the show, right? The problem is I don't think the show's very popular. It has thus far not charted on Nielsen's chart. Now, it could chart on Nielsen. You know, and I think maybe what they're banking on is a little bit of the end of the season effect, a little bit of, oh, there's these big crazy reveals and cameo stuff at the end of the season that's going to pull people in. And it is a second season, so you would imagine it's getting the first season viewership, people catching up, all added to it. But I would argue that already kind of makes it seem a little disappointing for Peacemaker because it has not charted thus far with all of that kind of stuff already working for itself. And remember, too, that Gunn claimed that Superman was going early to digital because of Peacemaker, right? Like we all saw that. Everybody remember that? And then like later tried to walk that back a bit by saying that you don't need to watch Superman to enjoy Peacemaker. So it's like really weird. And I think at this point, like he's talked out of both sides of his mouth so much that it's hard to kind of keep up with which, like what are we doing here? What are we actually talking about? But make no mistake about it, the actions of Warner Brothers are very loud. So they send the Superman movie to digital early. And I mean, I don't know, man. I don't really think that the numbers were all that great. You can kind of track how the discounts were applied to that thing. I don't really think it did all that well on its digital sales. And then again, that was sort of claimed by Gunn to be a thing to get people to watch Peacemaker. And it seems like just nobody's really watching Peacemaker. So here's the thing. To me, it's a bad look when your personal pet project is the next big thing and you're using company resources to do a podcast that breaks it down every week. You're using your platform to promote the show and say that Superman is a setup for it and it's all the DCU and it's all really cool. It's kind of a bad look when none of that seems to be doing much for the show. It's not charting. I don't think the podcast that he did is getting all these crazy views and people are really into it. And so it ends up kind of feeling like instead of, oh shit, Lex Luthor, the Lex Luthor is in the Peacemaker show, therefore the Peacemaker show is like really cool and it's a really big deal. It actually starts to feel like the opposite. It starts to feel like, oh my God, it's just James Gunn's band of misfit toys. It's like the James Gunn Superman Lex Luthor showing up on his weird little Peacemaker show. Everything's feeling really small. And of course, Creature Commandos never charted either. And that was the first DCU thing. Right? So I think that that's a bad look. But on top of that, because he's so obsessed with controlling the narrative, and because he's so obsessed with doing a podcast after every episode of a show that like basically nobody's watching, I'm sorry, but that's what it is. He won't stop talking about stuff that's not Peacemaker and all this other shit, and he keeps putting his foot in his mouth. So like one of the most, dude, I could fill a fucking hour with all the stupid shit that James Gunn has said just in the past couple of weeks, okay? But a couple of the really stupid ones that stick out recently has been his whole thing about Batman, and his whole thing that like actually it's not the casuals, it's you, the fans, the people that watch this podcast, the people that watch my stupid Peacemaker show. It's actually you that's the problem. It's not the normies when it comes to Batman. And it's just like everybody with a brain can see that that is a stupid, foolish answer. And there's just no way that you can take that answer seriously. James, you yourself said on the podcast with Horowitz that it would not be a good idea to have the DCU Batman and the DCU Batman in the same calendar year released. Why? Because all the hardcores aren't going to be able to figure it out, James? No! Dude, oh my God. Like, it's just so fucking silly. And then on top of that, all the shit he's saying about, like, the conflict in the Middle East and Gaza and all this other stuff. It's like, dude, you don't need like this whole, like, actually, I'm clarifying this because of this and this and this. None of it sounds good. None of it looks good. And it's really bad, man. It's a bad fucking look, bro. This isn't the all put together, well, total architect of the DCU. That's not what this feels like, dude. This feels like James Gunn's little fan fiction pet project bullshit. It feels small. It feels weird. And you're not humanizing yourself. It doesn't feel professional. It doesn't feel put together. It feels petty and small. And as I kind of was saying at the beginning of this segment, this is shit people called him out on almost immediately, right? And everybody got so butthurt about me. Like, myself and many others started to try to call this out early on, right? Where we were like, wait, what do you mean Peacemaker's going to continue? What do you mean the Suicide Squad is canon, but not the stuff that you don't want? How is this not just James Gunn's fan fiction? How is this not just the fucking Nepo baby, Nepo James Gunn universe? That's, people were trying to call him out very early on for this. Other people were trying to call out how overexposed and how crazy it was that he was being online. I mean, dude, here's the thing that's really weird, right? James, like years and years later, is now in this place where he's trying to talk about DCU Batman and DC Batman and how it's totally fine. You don't need to worry about that, comic book fan. Normies don't care about that. And yet, one of the very big controversies that happened very early on is that an incredible trade reporter, Adam B. Very, broke that Gunn desperately wanted Robert Pattinson's Batman to merge with his Superman. And Gunn publicly shamed this trade reporter on social media, saying he needs news sources. No, the fuck he doesn't, brother, because years later, you yourself admitted that is something you've thought about. Of course you've thought about it. And there's been nothing but even more reporting suggesting that that was a big thing that you wanted. So it's just silly, dude. It's not a good look. It doesn't, in my opinion, and I know I'm a bad messenger for this because I don't like this motherfucker, right? But the reality of the situation is somebody's got to step in. I think it's literally getting to that point. And I guess we'll see, right? Because we'll see what Peacemaker actually ends up doing. We'll see how Supergirl, is Supergirl the James Gunn show? Like, is Supergirl gonna have this white-haired, spiky motherfucker all over the place? Like, is he doing all the interviews? Is he doing all the press? Is he doing a little podcast after every, like, what are we doing here? You know? I think the direction that this is going in is not good. And I really think somebody needs to step in, because the truth is, like, I've actually tried to avoid most of this, right? Because of what everybody says about every time I bring this up. And again, I've had this take for years, and I think he is who he is, and he acts the way that he acts, and it's not a good look, right? It's not a good look. You'd like to imagine that given where we're at, like, right now, maybe we could adjust things. I don't think it's going to work as the, as James Gunn's little fan fiction misfit toy universe. I don't think that's going to work. And I think that he needs to get off social media. And I think that this thing needs to grow up. You know what I mean? I seriously fear for how all of this is going, because like, I'm not joking, man. I don't think there's a lot of traction on Peacemaker at all. And I do think it hurts the brand. I do think it makes everything feel small and less significant and less serious. You know what I mean? So I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys think I'm crazy? Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think that he's doing a bang up job? Or do you agree that it's like, ah, man, yeah, this just is not a good look. This just doesn't feel good. I think this Gunn take is really disingenuous. Oh, okay. The fact that to start off the dead universe, he takes it upon himself, keep things worked in the DCU. I mean, you're not really saying much there. I understand it. It's not. I think you're just using that word disingenuous. I don't even think you know what that means. But yeah, I mean, you think this stuff was working in the DCU. Where's the evidence that it was working? I mean, his stuff in particular did not perform well at all. First season of Peacemaker got like Miss Marvel numbers. Like nobody watched it. So what do you mean that was successful DCU? What's the most successful DCU stuff? It's Zack Snyder stuff. So your point makes zero fucking sense, brother. Like, I think it's okay that they keep the most successful DCU stuff. Well, if they had done that, it would be Zack Snyder shit. Right? So I don't know what the fuck you're on about, brother. Canon versus not canon is confusing, but I do happen to enjoy both his Superman and Peacemaker. I wonder how people, there's got to be some people that are enjoying both. 100%. There has to be, right? But I'm just telling you, like, this thing is not popping off, and I feel like it's a bad look, man. We'll see. Maybe it'll chart in the last couple of weeks. It has a lot of things kind of going for it as far as, like, how it could chart or whatever, but yeah. Tim O'Brien, thank you for the 5 gifted, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you. Snyder shit was still ass. Let's not forget. I mean, that, you could feel that way. It still did way better numbers than anything DC. It's literally the best stuff. The best stuff. The most... like the biggest movies they've ever had is the Zack Snyder stuff. Aquaman randomly, right? But even that's like it's coming out of Zack's stuff, you know. I can't believe this whole time the Snyder Bros were right. Yeah, they might have been. I don't know. It's hard to say. Ratings should matter more than money. Yeah, I think they both matter. I try, but I can't like Peacemaker's a 6.5 out of 10. Vigilante is the only good character in the show. It's just not for me. I'm not even speaking to the quality. I'm speaking to the numbers. I'm speaking to like the optics of this whole thing. I just think this whole thing is not looking good, brother. Like, I don't think this shit's looking good. Like, I feel like it just looks silly that Gunn's like, hey, yeah, my Peacemaker show, and dude, we're gonna let Superman go early, and dude, I'm gonna put Peacemaker in Superman, and then I'm gonna make all these people really care about Peacemaker and all this shit, and I'm gonna do all this shit in Peacemaker, and we're gonna do a fucking podcast for it. And like, bro, like, no, who gives a shit? Like, for real, who gives a shit? Like, imagine if Kevin Feige was like, here's Iron Man, and now we're gonna do Tony's stupid cousin fuckhead maker. That's basically what it is. Overbound with a 5-star says Zack stuff was adults only. Not really something you would take your kids to, like the MCU or the DCU. I hear it killed toy sales for DC. Oh yeah, I never heard that. In fact, if you talk to McFarlane, right? I'm pretty sure McFarlane says that those things were incredible for the toy sales. And to this day, the Snyder stuff sells really well, toys-wise, because people were really passionate about it. And also, I think that stuff had a lot of aura. Like, Zack stuff was fucking badass, you know what I mean? It was fucking badass. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, is that enough? Hey, look, I know it's a Monday, but like, dude, like, I was hoping for some really cool insight and feedback at the end of that segment. Dude, are you guys just like really sleepy today or whatever? Because I'm doing a lot of heavy lifting today. I'm doing a lot of heavy lifting, guys. You could step up. You could make one of these clips really good. You know, like you could, you know, let's, can we just pick up the pace a little bit? Holy shit. Smokey Kenobi says, hot take, DC is better when it's not a joint universe. Bale, Batman, the Joker, Watchmen, or maybe it's the people that made it. I don't know, man. They're Avengers for life. Yeah, that's fair. There's something to that. I think maybe it's just the license that the creatives get. Nolan, it's not so much that it was isolated, it's that it was isolated and it was Nolan. Meaning he got to call all the shots, you know? So, yeah, there's certainly something for that, yeah. Certainly something for that. Or something to that. Hey, yo, you know what's really fucking embarrassing for Hollywood? Hey, chat, have you guys ever heard of Hollywood? Have you guys ever heard of Hollywood? So we must continue our coverage of the Demon Slayer movie and its absolute fucking dominance in the box office. This is crazy. Hang on, let me get this sized up so that you guys can see this here. We predicted it. We talked about it. But it is official. It's either official or it's like basically official here. Infinity Castle, Demon Slayer has outgrossed every single comic book movie this year. Holy shit. This includes Superman. This includes Fantastic Four. This includes Thunderbolts. And this includes Brave New World. Do you know what the cheapest movie out of that bunch was? It's the Thunderbolts. Do you know how expensive the Thunderbolts was? I think it was like $170. $170. Infinity Castle cost $30 million to make and market. It was probably less. My God. So the first question, and I'll offer this up to chat, and I think this is actually an interesting question. Would really love to know what you think. Is this more of an L for comic book movies, or is this more of a W for anime movies? What do you think? Is this a L for the Hollywoods, or is this a W for anime, chat? What do you think? Wow, a lot of people saying W. Yeah, a lot of people saying W. And some people saying yes. Some people saying both. Yeah, it is kind of like both, huh? Let's start with the embarrassment for Hollywood. This has got to be so fucking embarrassing, dude. You know, Hollywood is always consistently tries to figure out what its audience wants. It's in the business of giving its audience what it wants, entertaining its audience. Okay, but somewhere along the line, over the past 10, maybe 15 years, they went a bad way with this, and they started making all these decisions. And basically, man. Like, and I think this is really what it comes down to is like, there's this whole big conversation of like, get woke, go broke. And everybody loves to bring this up and everybody loves to like fight on this battle line. And I totally understand it. I think it's an oversimplification to say that, but I think maybe like we're all talking about a very similar thing. We have different ways of expressing it. We have different ways of saying it. But I think at the end of the day, Hollywood is letting its audience down. Isn't that the best way to say it? Can't we just admit that that is clearly what has happened? You know, maybe it's because of that stuff that you consider woke or whatever. But at the end of the day, Hollywood is letting its audience down. And I think a big thing that happened was Hollywood didn't understand fast enough and didn't appreciate enough how much damage they could do to not just any individual brand, franchise, or thing, but to the entire Hollywood space. Anti-Hollywood sentiment is so fucking crazy these days. It is so wild, bro. And I think there's a lot of different opinions. By the way, Hollywood really fucked up because there's actually across party lines hate for Hollywood. You know, have you ever heard of this thing called the horseshoe effect, where like a lot of the people on the far right and the people on the far left are actually really, really similar? The horseshoe, if the horseshoe is real, in this sense, with Hollywood specifically, there's a lot of evidence to suggest that the horseshoe is real. You've got a whole bunch of people that are lefties or liberals or progressives that absolutely hate Hollywood and some of the propagandizing, some of the unfair treatment of its own workers, of workers around the world, of the way that it takes the side of, you know, particular countries in certain big global conflicts. Whole bunch of people on the left fucking hate Hollywood. Whole bunch of people on the right that hate Hollywood as well. You know, consider it to be propaganda. It has this agenda. They're trying to, you know, turn the frogs gay, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? So Hollywood has, like, almost in a unique way, turned so many people against it. And I gotta be honest with you, I think there is something to be said here for how Hollywood probably never actually thought this would happen. Like, I bet Hollywood got to such a place that they could not even conceive of Hollywood itself not being the main distributor of culture via movies. Like, I'm actually being serious here. I literally think there were a whole bunch of people in that town over the past 10 years that kind of had the attitude of, like, where the fuck are they gonna go? We're the only game in town. You know what I mean? And oh my God, they might have been way, way wrong. Bro, this is crazy to me. This is a fucking anime movie, dude. This is a fucking anime movie. And it made more than all the comic book movies. Dude, it's crazy. And you know what? The other thing I was thinking about, I want to show you this too, because I actually do think this has something to do with it. So this is a chart over here, and you got to see this, because, like, dude, especially if you're a Marvel fan, like, holy shit. So look at this. This is the first 5 days of theatrical films revealed on a Wednesday on Disney Plus. Okay. Thunderbolts is the. Look at how bad fucking Thunderbolts did, dude. Look at how bad Thunderbolts did. Okay? And look at all the movies around Thunderbolts. You know, your Black Widow, your Marvels, Snow White. So wait a minute. Thunderbolts is doing Snow White numbers? Hold on. Thunderbolts is doing Snow White numbers. Houston, we have a fucking problem here. You know what I mean? Like, bro, this is crazy. And I mean, like, this is about half of what Multiverse of Madness did, about half of what Eternals did. It's about half of what Guardians 3 did. It's about a third of what Wakanda Forever did. It's a third of Elemental. It's a third of Moana 2. It's a third of Inside Out 2. Guys, I think Thunderbolts is like top 10 Marvel. It's fucking incredible. This is crazy, dude. This is fucking crazy, dude. So, look, the data point, okay, of this, and we saw, like, you know, we saw as we went throughout this year, all the different box offices, right? And remember, I lost the bet with Brandon Davis, and it's like, dude, I feel like I lost that bet twice, because maybe I thought Superman could win, but I thought Superman might win if it popped off for like 1.1 billion. And Fantastic Four was like stuck at 7 or 8. Guys, the beginning of this year, I did not realize it was going to be like this, you know? And you've got Brave New World kind of cooking around these same numbers. You got Fantastic Four cooking around the same numbers. Thunderbolt's doing even worse. Thunderbolts might be the best of the bunch, and it did worse than all of them. And then you have fucking Infinity Saga, or the Infinity Castle movie, which cost $30 million to create and promote. Holy shit. Holy shit, dude. And I would suggest to you that a large part of why anime is doing so good is because it is not Hollywood, dude. I'm dead ass. And this is something Hollywood has to kind of grapple with, or not, because frankly, it's probably already over. You're probably fucking done. And we're just going to watch the actual effect of that over the next couple of years. This is fucking crazy, dude. What happens when we plug Crunchyroll into Nielsen? What happens when the Nielsen top 10 chart every week looks like half at least anime? Like, dude, holy shit, this is crazy. I really think things are changing in such a way that, like, we're seeing stuff like this doesn't even make sense, dude. Like, it's something that, like, again, you tell me this at the beginning of the year, I'd punch you in your nipple. Like, dead ass. It's like January 3rd. And you're like, hey, Josh, guess what? I think the Demon Slayer anime movie is going to make more than every comic book film this year. I would have punched you right in your nipple. I would have been like, are you fucking high? Ain't no way, fam. And this is where we're at. This is where we're at. We're having all this discussion about, like, Superman, Fantastic Four, and all this stuff. Brother, they spent $370 million on Superman. They got some of that back with residuals and with, you know, all this kind of finangoing. Dude, Infinity Castle was profitable at $60 million. It's just stacking cash, dude. It's just stacking cash. It's stacking cash, and the comic book movies are having to use Hollywood accounting to scrape out barely any profit. So what does the future of this look like? I got to tell you, I don't know, but I would take this as a sign, right? If I was like a Hollywood person, I would just take this as a sign to just see how damaged Hollywood itself is. And I'd probably start looking outside of Hollywood for the next revitalization. And by the way, this has happened in the past of Hollywood. This wouldn't be actually so crazy. So in the 70s, when you had all these awesome, like, bang out fucking awesome artistic directors, right? Like your Sidney Lumet or Lumet, and you know, your George Lucas, your Spielberg, Coppola, all of these guys. What happens is the corporate owners of a lot of the studios, because the studios get sold to all the corporate owners need young talent that understands the movies, and they just go to these young people, and then you have this, like, revitalization. Hollywood should do that again. I think Hollywood should be seeking, like, get away from all of this dinosaur shit, and you need to start looking for people outside of your system, a whole bunch of talented storytellers and artists that are not inundated with this, like, California think, Hollywood think way of doing things. I really think this is the time. I think it's the time to fully abandon all of this shit. And I don't know, you know, I would argue too, like, because this is another thought that I had when going down this rabbit hole. RDJ's Doctor Doom, right? RDJ's Doctor Doom. You look at these numbers and you look at the chart with the Thunderbolts thing here, and just in general, look at how low all of this Phase 4 and Phase 5 stuff is, right? And I want you to imagine now, what would Doomsday be looking like if Robert Downey Jr. had not come back? Okay? Even if it was somebody else. Even if it was somebody else that you wanted. Like, let's say, fucking Oppenheimer homie, right? Let's say it was him, and he's Doctor Doom. Okay? Imagine what the hype for Doomsday would actually look like if it was really just dead ass all of these Marvel characters that are generating zero hype, getting nobody excited. They would be so fucked if Downey wasn't coming back. Downey represents all of this old cachet and nostalgic feelings and all of this association with when it was different and when it was much better. And that's why you pay him that money, right? And it just shows, like, dude, without that, oh my God, what are we looking at here? We're looking at Thunderbolts, Captain America, Brave New World, and oh my God. That's the actual cast of characters and everything here. So, look, I just think it's crazy. And at the end of the day, like, it's a W for Infinity Castle. And I do think that anime itself is going to be even more prominent. We just had that story of how Netflix is going to fast track the Demon Slayer movie, the live action version, and we'll see how that goes. But what is next though? For Hollywood, are we just going to abandon all this shit and just go to anime, go to here, go to video game movie, this, that, second, and the third? Or like, is it a Hollywood problem? Does Hollywood need a big old front-facing branding change? And do you need to maybe go get some young mangakas? Do you need to go get some edgy, like imagine Matt Stone and Trey Parker when they were like just out of college or something, you know what I mean? Like you get some talent like that, and then they helped you to rebuild a studio's reputation. How a studio exists now in the internet age as we head forward. And with AI and everything like that, it's like, you know, it's just an interesting conversation. But look, dude, the main story is Infinity Castle did it. A lot of people thought it was impossible. I certainly would not have seen this coming earlier in the year. Infinity Castle makes more than any comic book movie, more than Superman, more than Fantastic Four. I mean, what does the future of Hollywood look like? I do not know. Chat, what are your thoughts on this? What do you think? Before we end this segment, what do you think's going on here? The oversaturation of Marvel is Marvel's problem. If they take a real break, they'll be fine. Okay, but then what's the explanation for Superman then? Right? Because like this definitely makes Superman look bad. So what's the explanation for Superman? You know? Warhammer is the future. Man, I got to tell you, I think the world needs Warhammer so badly. I think we need masculine, aura farming, high tea, crazy, savage science fiction that's brutal and just fun. It's just fun, dude. Like Abandoned Reason, it's just war and fun and hell yeah. Jalen says, this take will be mute in 2026-2027. Demon Slayer is one series. No other anime is pulling these numbers. Plus, it's the only way to digest the new Demon Slayer content. Oh, wow. Okay, that's an interesting take. I don't think so. Now, I will argue that Demon Slayer took some really smart strategy as far as kind of inundating their audience with the theatrical experience and building towards that. And I think it's been a very successful. But I don't think it's just that, man. I think some of these other anime did. Like, again, I think if you actually plugged Crunchyroll into Nielsen, which Nielsen should just do, I think you'd be shocked at how much anime is being consumed out there. Netflix itself has some crazy stats out there about it. Yep. Yeah, Warhammer needs to be more accessible to normies. Any updates on the Warhammer live action show? No updates since the last time we spoke about it. No. We'll see. Hopefully by the end of the year they can announce something. Yeah. You got to see how Chainsaw Man movie does next. I would be very interested to see how Chainsaw Man would do. Chainsaw Man's really cool. Normies barely know the difference between DC and MCU. They just see superhero fatigue. Sure. Superhero fatigue. Yeah, that's maybe it. Yeah. It's a phase and it won't last but a few years. What, anime? I don't know. I mean, look, things do ebb and flow, of course. And it could be like have a hot moment and then fizzle out for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Been saying this. The theaters are over. Streaming is the thing. Comic book movie fatigue. The economy sucks. People want something different. Horror is here. Anime is here. People want different. I think that's true. People want freshness. And I think anime is fresh. But I would also argue that like Hollywood itself has just done such a bad job of serving up freshness that it's made a bad association with a lot of what it does. Dragon Ball is anime goat, and look at those movies. Those movies are doing pretty well. Man. Especially that last one, Superhero, did pretty stinking well, yeah. Yeah. I'm all in on anime as of the last year. And while I miss Marvel, I have zero hope Disney will turn it around. Ooh, that's tough. Yeah, I mean, look, there's just a lot of reasons to doubt Disney, right? And look, you know, the other day they said something about, so the Marvel Zombies thing just happened, right? I thought it was ass. I couldn't get past the first episode. And they just recently asked Elizabeth Olsen about it, and she's like, I don't even remember. I recorded my lines years ago. And look, that is the fucking truth of this thing, man, is that Marvel wants us to think that zombies is this new, cool, fresh thing. It's not. It came out of the philosophy of the studio that was there years ago, which was that they could do whatever they wanted, throw a Marvel logo on it, and people would eat it up. And that's just not true. And we're so fucking far past that. I cannot stand that version of Marvel. And zombies is that. That's what it is. So I can't with them anymore, man. Oh, really? Bro, she is lying? You think so? No, she recorded those years ago, dude. 100%. Dude, what a weird thing to say. She's lying. Why would you lie about that? Why would you lie about that? Man, Olsen stays shitting on her employers. She's been a little vocal with it. Yeah. Yeah, she's been a little vocal. Yeah. Overall, it's been a great year for movies. Really great movies out this year. Okay, Ben. Okay, Ben. Not an anime fan. Saw Infinity Castle because of FOMO. I thought it was a Temu animation story. Hey, you don't say that to me, Andrew. Also, I guess you're allowed to have your opinion, but your opinion sucks. Anime is too much of a niche to warrant all of this conversation. Wow. I think you're in for a rude awakening, man. I think that is completely false. I think that's such a silly take. I think there's a lot of evidence to the counter. Like my man's sitting here in his thing, and he's like, it literally made more than all the comic book movies this year. And he's like, this is too niche. It's too niche for this kind of convo. Stop wasting your breath on a movie that made more than all the other comic book movies. You're wasting your breath, Josh. Holy shit. Oh, you guys. Chat. You guys. Oh, chat. Oh, chat. Oh, chat. Oh, fucking chat. What in tarnation is going on here? I thought we fixed the problem. I thought we fixed the dang dare problem with the dang dare crashes. What the hell? What in tarnation? It's too niche. Anime is too fucking niche, bro. Japan, the country, cartoons. Fuck out of here, bro. Shit is too niche, dog. That shit is too niche. All right, let's talk a little bit about the X-Men. Hey, chat, you guys know about the X-Men? Y'all ever hear about the X-Men? Well, we got a couple of updates here about the X-Men. So, here we go. Ryan Reynolds developing mutants team-up film for MCU's next saga. And my first knee-jerk reaction to this is, but why? Why would we do that? Let's read on. Marvel Studios has started planning for the upcoming MCU saga post Avengers Secret Wars. Along with that, Deadpool star Ryan Reynolds has started developing the script for a new MCU movie. According to Daniel Richtman in his Patreon post, Reynolds is reportedly developing his own mutant team-up film for the next saga. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, so he did talk about it. Okay. This news was already reported by Scooper, My Time to Shine Hello, who revealed that Reynolds has been writing a script for a potential MCU X-Force film that would feature him teaming up with Josh Brolin's Cable, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, and a new actor for Storm. Hell yeah. Rickman also said Marvel Studios is reportedly planning the next saga of MCU and X-Men villains, Mr. Sinister and Apocalypse. The studio has some actors in mind, but none of them have been cast. Oh, wow, really? So we're doing this scoop again. Daniel has been literally reporting this like 3 times a year for the past 7 years, I feel like. I feel like Daniel just cycles this shit, just like a DJ. Just put this shit on a loop like, oh, it's been like about 9 months. Let's hit him with the Mr. Sinister Apocalypse scoop again. That ought to get some views. In an interview with THR last year, Reynolds said, I'm more passionate about storytelling than I am about acting. Oh, thank God. Please don't act in this then. Reynolds added, if I win, great. If I lose, I get to feel like I was the architect of my own demise. He also said that Deadpool could appear opposite of the X-Men and the Avengers, but that the character joining those teams would have unintended consequences. His ultimate dream is to be accepted and appreciated, but he can't be accepted. His coping mechanism of deflecting shame through humor works only when he used to pave over his many inadequacies. If and when he does become an Avenger or an X-Man, we're really at the end of his journey. Oh, okay. We heard that Reynolds is returning to the Deadpool in the upcoming Avengers Doomsday as a part of the TVA superhero Exiles. The Exiles team that features characters who've been displaced from their home universes and travel the multiverse, repairing or saving reality timelines. That would be cool. Upcoming X-Men reboot will be directed by Thunderbolt's Jake Schreier. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the main thing here, guys, there's a couple of main things here. So Daniel, you know, rent is due. Talking about this scoop again here. So Apocalypse and Mr. Sinister. Now, we know that's true. That's been around for a long, long time. There were even people talking about how maybe it was going to be The Rock as Apocalypse. I actually think that would be sick. I think, wasn't even Javier Bardem kind of mentioned as Mr. Sinister? And then I think there was another actor that was potentially named for Mr. Sinister as well. So, yeah, they've been talking about this, and I think that's cool. A lot of evidence to suggest that'll be what it is. Reynolds doing the mutant team-up movie. Now, let's talk about this for a second. Unfortunately, it is probably this here with Deadpool, Wolverine, Cable, and Storm. That's what I've heard it is, which, by the way, I heard that Reynolds is friends with Cynthia... What's her name? Cynthia Incio or whatever. And so he really badly wants Cynthia to be the MCU Storm, which I think is a fucking terrible idea. You know what I mean? No disrespect to Cynthia, but Storm needs to be stereotypically beautiful. Storm should be like a fucking goddess. You should look at Storm and not be able to talk right. You know what I mean? Like just a stunning, striking, like Nubian beauty, like a total fucking babe. And Cynthia is not that. So I think it's a terrible idea. But I was told that that was something that Reynolds wanted, because apparently they're friends or whatever, and Reynolds wants to get her in there. So basically what I'm telling you is, if we get Cynthia as Storm, blame Ryan Reynolds. And to me, this is so much worse than any of the Baldoni stuff, man. I mean, this would be like truly, what the fuck did you just do, Ryan, kind of a situation. But so this is kind of interesting. So that's the scoop out there, that they were going to do this kind of a team-up thing. Chat, what do you think about this? I really don't want it, man. I'm sorry. I'm over Deadpool. I really am. Not to say you can't do more Deadpool. Sure, maybe do some Deadpool. But I want serious Marvel stories, dude. Like, I want a serious Marvel story. I want serious Exiles. I want serious Storm. I want serious Cable. I want serious Wolverine. Man, I'm just like, I'm sorry, dude. I'm just a little over the Deadpool thing, and especially if you're really going to sprinkle him in the next two Avengers movies. God, I'm just so over it. Now, on the one hand, though, the one place that I think is kind of like a good place for Deadpool is if it's multiversal. So if we get an MC reboot or a reset or whatever, and it's the new X-Men, and then you have Deadpool off in the multiverse doing his thing with those characters, fine. But like, if we're really doing the new MCU Storm in the Deadpool team-up movie, like, no thanks, man. Like, just straight up, no thank you. I'm not about that life, okay? So that's kind of where my head is at. I'd love to know what you guys think about that. And the other thing that I'll say is, I do think the Mr. Sinister Apocalypse thing is great. And the thing that a lot of people forget about Kevin is that so Feige begins with the X-Men, right? So he's with the Donners and stuff, and he's working on that first X-Men movie with Bryan Singer and all them. That's his start. So X-Men is a full circle thing for Feige. Okay? And I think, you know, he's going to do a lot of stuff in these next few movies with X-Men, I believe. And then we're going to get our MCU version. And I think there's a lot of discussion. There's a lot of questions of like, yo, is he going to cook with X-Men? Is Feige on the way out? Does he even really care? He cares deeply about the X-Men. He cares deeply about the X-Men. It's a full circle moment for him. So there's going to be a lot of care given to this X-Men project, to the X-Men movies. And I do agree that Mr. Sinister and Apocalypse is a good way to do that. It's different than like just Magneto. It's different than Dark Phoenix. It could connect to the cosmic shit. So yeah, I kind of like it. But the other thing that I'll say, the other thing that I'm going to say here, and this is one of the problems I have with Kevin, right? Like, I'm a big fan of Kevin. I like Kevin a lot. As somebody in chat points out, Jalen Frazier says, I do glaze Kevin quite a bit, and that's true. I do. But here's the thing. The other shoe is, Kevin, you need to let the Kamala stuff go. If your plan is really to make Kamala Khan a big part of your X-Men plan, then my plan is to shit all over your X-Men content for the foreseeable future. I just got to be honest with you, bro. Like, that's fucking awful, bro. That is a fucking terrible idea. Please do not do that. You have tried to do this in the comics. It has gone terribly. The sales are not there. The fan base is not there. People do not like it. You can do Kamala Khan. Dude, make her do her actual powers. Make her an Inhuman. Actually do that. You want to make Kamala Khan the face of the X-Men and the mutants? Holy shit. For the love of God, please do not do that. Okay? So, there it is, chat. That's kind of the new stuff with regards to the X-Men. In all seriousness, like, Daniel's just been recycling this Apocalypse, Mr. Sinister thing. This is probably like the 7th time he's brought this up. And then I do think the Reynolds thing is real as well. So, chat, what do you think, guys? What do you think of this? Thoughts, questions, comments, concerns? Are you not over Deadpool? You love Deadpool still? What do you think? Cynthia as Storm would spark a specific type of convo and be too divisive. But not only that, it's a terrible casting. And that being said, they'll probably cast her. Yeah, that's what it feels like, right? Would Halle Berry be too old? Yeah, for a reboot, I would say so. Yeah, I would say so, yeah. We still don't even know if Halle Berry's in Doomsday. I kind of think she's not. I kind of think they wouldn't give her enough money. Miss Marvel should be the main character of the X-Men movie. Most X-Men suck. That's why the movie franchise failed. Wow, dude. We've reached a really weird level of parody where, like, the bots and the haters and, like, who is this kind of person? Like, what kind of shame would you have to live with to, like, shit post in such a way as to, like, that's crazy to me. Because, like, even if I was trolling, I don't know that I could actually, like, type that out and hit enter. You know? Like, that's got to be, like, that's a crazy level of troll. Like, some things are just that's too far. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's probably too far. You know, I don't want to, you know, jokes are jokes and stuff and free speech or whatever like that. But you need to lose some rights. Not all of them. You know what I mean? We can figure it out. But some of your rights have to go now. Like, just some of your, like rights as a citizen or as a person got to go. So, do you think they'll bring back any of the second round of the X-Men movies? You mean in general or for this? Are you talking about for, like, the MCU reset? Like, what are you talking about? I'm not sure. Don't ban me, please. Okay, fine. Cancel culture again. I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily think of it as cancel culture. I like to think of it as, like, classism. Like, I'm above this person. And I get to do things to them. You know what I mean? Like, you're a second-class citizen. If you can type that take out and hit enter, you lose some rights. Yeah, it's not cancel culture. It's like serfdom. Techno-feudalism. You guys acting rowdy like Kangs in the Council of Kangs. Yeah, exactly. 100%. Yeah. For Doomsday and Secret Wars. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, I had been told a long time ago no, but it seemed like some of them were in the Deadpool Wolverine, right? Weren't some of them in there? So I guess we'll see. By the way, Chad, I just want to say that tomorrow, my Warhammer channel, Warhammer Explained, drops a new video. First video in over a year. We're bringing the channel back. So go over and subscribe to Warhammer Explained. New video dropping tomorrow, baby. And it's about the Emperor of Mankind, the God Emperor of Mankind. Time to educate y'all about the God Emperor of Mankind. And then I got a Dark Angels video for you. Woo! Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, send link. Oh, yeah, good point, actually. I probably should have done that, yeah. All right, anything else on this shit here?
Threats, both external and internal.
Oh my
Chaos.
God, dude. I can't wait. We're bringing the channel back, baby. We're bringing it back, baby. Okay, boom. There is. That's actually a link to the video, but you can get to the channel there. Plus, what's a cool thing they do? Like Jedi powers and abilities. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Oh, Warhammer? Oh, so they have that. They have the ability to use the warp. And there are psychers. So they can do like the Jedi mind trick thing, right? Uh-oh. 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 Yeah, they have Jedi type stuff, man. They have powers and stuff like that. It's really, really cool. Doomsday will be slop, and we will eat it willingly. I don't know if it'll be slop, but I am going to eat that shit willingly. I'm going to open up. Okay. I think that's probably going to do it for this segment here. Nothing else to say about Ryan Reynolds? Nobody? What's the temperature out there for Ryan Reynolds? People still like Ryan Reynolds, or are we over Ryan Reynolds? Do we like Ryan Reynolds, or do we not like Ryan Reynolds? Have you ever seen Vinland Saga? Yeah, I've seen some Vinland. Yeah. He's fine. He's cool. Meh. Over it. We are over it. Should I go to the polls on this? Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of mixed opinions out there, huh? Yeah, interesting. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens, because probably going to get as much Ryan Reynolds as you can fucking handle in the next 5 years. Oh, no. Oh, no. All right, we got to watch a thing here, guys. I just saw this pop up, and it's already pissing me off. So, Eckhart's Ladder here, who I like, says, very important watch. Okay? So, let's watch this together here, but I already know where he's going with this. But let's watch this together. Let's have an experience. Here we go. Hang on. Wait. Hang on. According to John Roca, Amy Adams' character in Starfighter is a Jedi. Flynn Gray character. Amy Adams, 51 years old. Destruction of the Jedi Temple, 28 ABY. Luke Skywalker is 53 years old in Star Wars The Last Jedi. This age is based on the fact that The Last Jedi takes place approximately 30 years from Return of the Jedi, where Luke was 23 years old.
He's your son?
I have a son?
No.
He's your son?
I have a son?
Okay, so here's the thing. I mean, so I just talked a whole bunch of shit on this movie earlier, and I'm really mad because the movie is going to end in a way where the kid goes to Rey. Okay, the kid is going to go to Rey, and I don't like that. However, this is kind of interesting here. So what this is saying potentially is that there is a chance that she is Mara Jade, which, by the way, some people were hitting me up about this. People were asking me about this Mara Jade thing because one of the things that I had said was that Mara Jade is something I had been hearing. Mara Jade is something that keeps getting brought up behind the scenes. A lot of people keep saying it. And so this would mean, if it was Mara Jade, that she was there with Luke during the temple days and potentially had a kid. You know what else is kind of interesting about this? So I was talking to somebody about this yesterday or maybe the day before, and they had brought up that Mark Hamill made some crazy comments back in the day about how if he had left his lightsaber out and his kid had played with it, that would be enough to like scar him into going to Octu or whatever. Do you remember those comments? Kind of seemed just like innocuous and like some stupid shit that Hamill was saying. But I suppose it had always been possible that like the real reason, the real motivation, like what could turn Luke into such a grumpy boy, could it have been the loss of a lover, the loss of like a family, the loss of this idea that he was with somebody and they were intimate and then that all fell apart and then he thought maybe she was dead. Maybe he thought he had a son. Maybe he thought his son was dead. I don't know. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. This feels fucking impossible. This feels crazy. This feels so outlandish. And yet, I'm going to say it. I want it. I look, it's a terrible way to do Mara Jade. It's a terrible way to do Luke's kid. It's a terrible way to do Star Wars. It's a terrible way to do stories. It's a terrible way to do movies. It's a terrible way to do moving pictures. It's a terrible way to do things. And yet, I still want it because I need Skywalkers. I need something more than Rey's bitch ass. I need actual Force sensitive of the line of Luke Skywalker, the actual lineage of the chosen one. I need the Skywalkers. I need it. I don't care how we get there. Is this real? Are we really doing this? Okay, chat. Let me ask you this. Do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want Luke's kid to be in this film? Yes or no? Aussie says yes. Steve says it's better. Justin says no, but it doesn't matter what he says. Louis says yes. Monkey says yes. Of course we do. We're suckers. I know it, Vandolph. You know it. I know it. We know it. Somehow Luke returned. Exactly. Do you want de-aged Amy Adams in Dave's Air movie? Fuck yeah, I do. Hell yeah, I do. Hell yeah. That's an awesome idea. I want Amy Adams. I mean, I want Amy Adams too. Better than just Rey. It's true. It's true. Sort of to be the best. The universe is so big. Why can't we focus on other people? Get the fuck out of here, Elcid 0685. Get the fuck out of here with that stupid ass idea. Oh, the universe is so big, so why don't we focus on other people? So you want to focus on somebody like over in this corner of the universe that has nothing to do with anything? Well, guess what? You can do that by going to any other fucking universe or just make one up and get the fuck out of my face. What a stupid ass comment. The universe is so big, why can't we just focus on somebody else for a change? Shut the fuck up! That's not how this shit works. It's not like you go into a mythic store and you're like, you know what? This world is full of fairies, dragons, kings, and queens, but I'm really interested in the baker. No. That's not how that shit works. Elcid 0685. Man, I fucking hate your name too. And I hate those numbers now. 0685. Every time I see those numbers together in that order, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Luke Skywalker's kid? I mean, I'll tell you this one thing, okay? I've been pretty harsh on Kathleen Kennedy and her terrible ass strategy and terrible ass career and her terrible ass presidency and her terrible ass fucking vibes, man. You know, the vibes are wrong. I've been really critical of that, and I don't even know where I'm going with this, and now I'm just going to say that all of that's been deserved. I was going somewhere with it, though. What was I getting at here? What was I getting at here, you know? Oh, here's what I was going to say. If they really do want to get people on board for the new trilogy or whatever, and the next Star Wars, whatever it is, then you need to have this kid and Rey have an interaction at the end of the movie, okay? And the kid's like, yeah, but you're not really a Skywalker, are you? And then he just like walks past her. We're all gonna be like, we're gonna watch your career with great interest, man. Hey, I like this kid. He's my actual dad. You're just some weirdo that found the island. Let her know. Hey, let her know. Let her know about it. Bypass the compressor. It seems like you bypassed your training, you Mary Sue bitch. Oh my God. I love this kid. Fuck yeah. That's my boy. You're my boy, Blue. Hell yeah. Maybe there's something here. Maybe I judged too harshly. Maybe Shawn is cooking. Hell yeah. Interesting. All right, any other thoughts? And then Kylo comes back, they get married, and then she is a Skywalker, lol. Yeah, but I mean, at least that's better than whatever the fuck we're doing right now. You know? Get Josh in the writer's room? Hell yeah. Amy's red hair is definitely a thing, too. That's true. I wonder if the curtains match her pubes. Did I say that one wrong? I'm not good at those ones. Tim O'Brien says Rey bypassed the character development. It's true. It's true. I'm sorry. I messed it up. I know that's an expression. I messed it up, okay? My bad. Don't hold it against me forever. That's better. You're such a Reylo. Adam, it's not my fault that the star-crossed lovers, enemies to lover trope is so much more interesting and compelling than any of the other shit they were cooking in this trilogy. You know? And I'm tired of acting like it's not. She should have taken his hand. Holy. Oh, carpet match the drapes. That's what I meant. Yeah. Sorry. I messed it up. My bad. Anyway, we got anything else to say about this, man? Let's watch this video one more time. Can we watch this video one more time? Amy Adams character, Starfighter, 40 ABY. Amy Adams, 51. 53-year-old Luke Skywalker, 30 years after the 51 years after 40, 28 years.
He's your son?
I have a son?
I mean, I think this video just convinced me. I'm pretty sure 100%. Should I find out from my source? Or should we just pretend this is real for a while? Should we find out? Should I hit the source up? Should I hit the homie up? I'm dead ass, man. I don't know what else you could do to get me back on board of this movie. And I don't even like it. I still complain about it. I'll still fucking bitch and moan. But this will at least be better than the other stuff. Let's pretend, but also find out before Nerd Theory. Okay, right on. So the Skywalker saga continues. I want it to! With real Skywalkers. Not that imposter. Not that scavenger clone slop. So uncivilized. Interesting. Amy Adams' face doesn't even fit Star Wars. I don't know why, but it just doesn't. That's a wild take, brother. That is a wild take. Okay, I guess that'll do it for that one. Crazy, but I hope that we got a new Skywalker. I hope we got a Luke. I hope we get it. And I hope Amy Adams is Mara Jade. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right, what else is going on, chat? Probably going to get out of here soon. Kind of a chill day. Kind of a nice little Monday. We'll be on Nerd Theory later tonight, probably 5:30. Be live with the homie. And I will be giving you my most problematic Star Wars takes. Let's see if I get canceled. Hell yeah. How you feeling about the Vision Quest show? Is that still a thing? Yeah, I mean, it's still a thing. I'd have to know more about it. Like, really don't like what they have going on with their Disney Plus shows, but maybe there's a reason, or maybe there's a reason that one's different. So, Ultramarine, what? More Ultramarines, dude. What the fuck? God damn it. I'm so sick of these Ultramarines getting everything they want. What's up with the Dark Angels? Give me more shit with the Dark Angels. Jesus Christ, dude. More upgrade sprues for the fucking Ultramarines? Get the fuck out of here. I had enough. Yeah, I saw that. We're going to send it to you, but figured you'd cry about it. Yeah, I'll cry about it, yeah. Adam, I'm available probably, let's call it Tuesday, Thursday evening. One of those, probably. And maybe over the weekend, too. Let me know if you get a chance over the weekend. We could always play TTS on the weekend, too. I hope Snoke returns and he kills Rey. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. They cry now? Yeah, they cry now. They cry now. I'm a little hungry, man. I think we were going to get pizza today, too. I think Liam said he wanted some pizza. I actually think we're going to get some Blaze pizza, yo. I like Blaze pizza. Y'all ever have Blaze pizza? It's good, man. I like the spicy marinara. I usually get the meat lovers with the spicy marinara on that, John. Whoo! Did you talk about Shathra for Spider-Man 4? Yes, we did. I believe it's out on a clip. I think we talked about it on Saturday or Friday. Yeah, I actually think Geeky probably got that one. I think he figured it out. Pretty sure. Blaze or Pieology. I've actually never been to Pieology, but I've heard it's really good. Dude, so there's a place called Burgerology. The hotel I stayed at in New York had a Burgerology in it. Oh my God. Yo, that shit was slamming, dude. The night before I flew back, just kicked it in the hotel because I had to fly out at like 3 a.m. Just kicked it in the hotel, ordered from the Burgerology, and watched Independence Day. The first one. Oh, man. That was a good night. It was a fun night. Did you hear about the Fate of the Jedi 9-part novel series of novels? I certainly did not. What is that, man? That sounds cool. Blaze better than Pieology, but neither are Pizzeria good. Yeah, neither are like super, super good. I mean, I want to get out to back out to Chicago to get some really good deep dish and some food out there. And there was a place out there called the Green Mile, or maybe it was the Green Mill. The Green Mill in the Twin Cities and over into Chicago. And dude, that place had some slamming fucking deep dish pizza. I'm gonna see if it's still a thing. The Green Mill, I think. Yeah, the Green Mill restaurant and bar. It's still a thing. Minnesota's best. Dude, I'm telling you, bro. Oh, that pizza, the fucking deep dish. Oh, my God. And then, of course, I've had really good deep dish in Chicago as well. I just don't remember the name of the restaurant. Oh, man, I'm so hungry. Oh, man, I'm so hungry. So a lot of cool content being cooked up, guys. I've got some cool video ideas. Of course, we're going to do Nerd Theory tonight. Should be a nice stream where we lose our mind a little bit. I've got the Warhammer channel drops a video tomorrow. So make sure you go subscribe to the Warhammer Explained channel. And we'll drop that video tomorrow. And yeah, I'm cooking up some Marvel videos as well. Some videos for the main Den of Nerds channel. Bunch of good content we went over today. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what kind of news comes out. Getting into the fall time of year, you know. Josh did all that shit talking for Superman to have a great debut on Max. I don't know what you mean, brother. Did it have a great debut on Max? I actually don't think I'm talking all that shit. You know, I get it. I get it. And there's going to be people that just don't like, you know, what I'm talking about. I mean what I said about Gunn. And I'm actually not trying to be malicious. There's actually a time period where like I just let a lot of that shit go. Like he says goofy ass shit like almost every day. But I just wanted to take the time to be like, you know, I see the way this is going. And I know I'm not the best messenger for it. But really and truly, there's just not enough people calling it out. Like, it is silly. He's making it seem small. I think he's hurting his image. I think he's hurting the company's image. I think it's a pretty bad look, legitimately. Do you intermittent fast before you stream? No. No. Damn, you're in Chi-Town? No. But I like to go to Chi-Town. I like the food in Chicago a lot. You're just a James Gunn hater? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you know, I dress it up and I use big words and I come up with, you know, fancy ways to explain it away. But you're right. You got me. I'm just a hater. I'm just a James Gunn hater. I just fucking hate him. You know, I just I just fucking hate him, dude. Is Spaceball 2 really coming out? Yeah, I think so. Brother. Oh my God, Superman was HBO Max's biggest movie debut since Barbie with 13 million views. That's actually impressive. But it only made 600 in the box office, and Demon Slayer made more money than it. So, you know, and Peacemaker ain't getting into Nielsen, you know, so. Sorry, I'm just a fucking hater. Shalom, hey! Hey, Josh, I think you missed my chat. Well, I wish I missed that one, too. But... CC Rad says, it's not better, but no one listens to me anyway. LOL. Rey is not going to save the franchise, bruh. Yeah. Yep, that's true. So Josh, you fuck with Wiz Khalifa? Hell yeah, Wiz is awesome, man. I used to bump a lot of Wiz when I was in college and stuff. Yeah. Could Avengers Doomsday set up Shang-Chi 2 with the 10 rings? Maybe. Shalami, just put into the chat what you said before. I don't want to scroll back up. I'm too hungry to scroll back up, bruh. So just put it back into the chat. Come on. Come on. When's Nerd Theory? Either 5:30 or 6. I don't think Theory set it up yet, but usual time, baby. A John Cena show somehow better than F4. What? What up, Josh? What up, man? Are they going to start shooting Secret Wars soon, even before Doomsday reshoots? I doubt that. I mean, maybe there's some things that they could shoot like that, but I don't think so. I doubt it. I don't know about all that shit, brother. Peacemaker being better than every Marvel content is wild. I mean, look, there's probably people that like the show. I mean, it's just not for me. I don't think it's doing that well, though. I don't think it is, man. I don't really think it's doing that well. Supergirl gonna be peak? Oh, I hope so, man. I hope so. I hope so. Better be. It better be some peak. Do you think Tony not being handed things is a Victor Von Doom trait they all have? I like where your head's at with that. Yeah, it's definitely possible. Favorite recent comic? I like the Ultimate stuff. Absolute Batman is cool. Haven't been reading a lot, though. I'm pretty behind on all my shit. Abaddon is such a loser. No, Abaddon's cool. Everybody talks so much shit on Abaddon. Abaddon's cool. Alien Earth ass? Alien Earth ass. What do you mean? Are you talking about the aliens' ass? I didn't even think they really had an ass because don't their legs kind of go like a cricket? So they don't really have an ass. You know? Shrek 2, Absolute Cinema? Shrek 2 is pretty good, yeah. Josh, what do you think about the new Hollywood tariffs? I don't know anything about the Hollywood tariffs, but they're probably good. Or maybe they're bad. Legs like a cricket? Yeah, you know what's terrible about that, Seagal Steven, is when you got her legs in the air and they hit against each other, they make that cricket sound. Can you imagine? Sheesh. New tariffs imported movies, aka anime. Well, I think we need some tariffs on your fucking chats. I think we need tariffs on every time you guys send something into the chat. I feel like I need a little piece. Chad has been taking advantage of us for far too long. Chat can no longer just sit there and do so well while I am doing so bad. You get a bigger piece. You get the biggest piece. I don't know what that means, but I don't like it. I don't like what's going on here. Oh my God. EA is about to get bought by an investment fund of Saudi Arabia. Holy. Wow. Wow. Now you're going to pay us if you want us to watch you. Well, that seems terrible. Gets mad he doesn't get to drop 300 on MTG, but sure, take more of our money. I don't know what that means. I didn't even buy any of this MTG because I'm over it. The set made me mad. So what are you even talking about, Adam? Josh, when are you streaming Marvel Zombies Episode 1? Man, Marvel Zombies Episode 1. What an episode, bro. What an incredible, compelling piece of corporate slop. With 3 riveting characters that have a fan base of literally nobody. With animation so shitty that terrible AI looks better. Yeah. Aliens on Earth sounds boring. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. All right, everybody. Much love, man. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. We're going to get on out of here. And I will see you guys later tonight. I will see you, clips, videos, all that sort of stuff. Make sure you check out the other channels. Warhammer channel dropping a video tomorrow. It's going to be very cool. Appreciate you guys. Much love. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Did everybody leave? Did Kathleen Kennedy leave? Because I think not. Did James Gunn leave? Because I think not. Oh, man. So glad we brought back Nerd Theory. I'm so glad we're back to covering Star Wars, Because you gotta know how bad it could get to be able to truly appreciate what you got. Star Wars is cooked, dead-ass franchise, terrible-ass president, ruined an incredible piece of entertainment. And she's gonna leave, but she's gonna shit all over it on her way out and make it all about Rey, to the point that, I'm gonna fucking... I don't even know. Okay, well, let's go and do me a favor and open up your third eye. And do me a favor.